Malolele and welcome back to Poly Pathways. I'm Sifa Bole and today I'll be talking about what engineering is and giving you a brief overview of my career as a civil engineer. So what is engineering? The way I like to define engineering, it's a way of life or a way of thinking, and it's using the environment around you to find solutions to problems. The more specific definition of engineering is using maths and science to solve problems. And so based on my brief overview of what engineering is, the topic can be very broad, and that's why you have a lot of engineering disciplines in today, from civil engineering to mechanical engineering to electrical engineering to software, chemical materials, and the list goes on. But engineering is everywhere around us, from mobile phones to devices to roads to infrastructure. Engineers help design and build the world around us. So my career journey started at the end of high school. At that point, I really enjoyed science and maths. I didn't know what I was going to do after high school, but fortunately for me, I had an older cousin studying engineering at the time. Shout out to my cousin Veronica Louis, who's an associate at Oricon, a large engineering consulting firm, and she's currently working on the City Rail Link project as a control systems engineer. At the end of high school, my older brother pointed me in the direction of engineering school, similar to what my cousin was doing at the time. This is a really important point that I want to talk about. I believe people rarely fall into a profession or a job. They usually make a decision based on what information they know about a job or a specific profession. So it really comes down to awareness. So that's what I really want out of this channel, is to show people what jobs are out there, specifically for our Polynesian people. So I attended the University of Auckland and completed my Bachelor of Civil Engineering in 2011. And I joined the engineering industry shortly after. One of the biggest challenges I faced joining the engineering industry is the lack of Polynesian representation and cultural misunderstanding when I joined the industry. It wasn't easy at the start, and I did struggle to fit in. It really challenged me and helped me to look at my identity and my values. One of my first jobs leaving university was working on the Waterview Tunnel project as a site engineer. I really enjoyed construction at the time. I got to organize site resources, monitor quality, and organize and instruct a small crew on site. I really did enjoy this part of my career, working out on site, but I did still struggle a little bit with my workplace identity. The turning point for me was when I couldn't handle the conflict of values between myself and the environment around me, and I felt like I didn't do enough to find that sense of identity or stand up for my values. So I decided to look for another job. Looking back in hindsight, I wish I had reached out to mentors or found mentors at that time to help guide me and navigate me at that time of my career. And it's one of my top tips now to younger engineers or any profession, is to go out looking for mentors. And at the moment, I've got roughly 4 mentors that I use at the moment in my career to just bounce ideas, get a sense of direction of where they're going, getting feedback. And I always say get as many mentors as you can, because one mentor will give you their perspective based on how they see the world, but it'll be based on their opinion. And I try and get a collection to not only to learn from them, but to get a good all-round perspective of what it is that I like and what I want to take from them. So before leaving my job at the time, I started to look for other jobs, other engineering jobs. When I remembered my brother, who was teaching at Kelston at the time, he was coaching a kid who his father was a water supply manager at Watercare. And so I spoke to my brother and I said, hey, is there any chance I can meet this guy, this water supply manager? And he spoke to the water supply manager, and he said, he's going to be at his son's game on Saturday. He'd love to talk to you, so just go and introduce yourself to him. And so it was a Saturday. I was running around just before my rugby game, and so I went to this high school rugby game where I met the water supply manager, and we started conversating on the rugby field. And I asked him, how's Watercare, what's it like? And he's just started sharing his view on things. And I think he was taken away that somebody would take time out of their personal life to come and to talk to him, and also wanted a job in Watercare. And so at the time, the water supply manager told me that he doesn't have any vacancies in his department, but there is a vacancy in another department for me to apply for it, and he'll put in a good word for me. And so I applied, he put in a good word for me, and I was fortunate enough to get the job, and yep, the rest is history. And so this is another point that I want to touch on, is trying to grow your networks, or use people around you to grow your understanding and reach out to get jobs, because if you really want something, you will go out and get it. People will be responsive and can be responsive in a positive way to that desire. So grow your networks. Being a Polynesian or any minority group in the engineering industry does come with its own unique set of challenges and opportunities. One thing I've learned is knowing your identity in the workplace. It's about being comfortable with who you are in your workplace. Imposter syndrome does creep in a lot, but you've got to learn how to shut that out. One of the main tools that I've used in the past is self-reflection of my values and also the values of my environment. Being a Polynesian and a Tongan, my values were about family, whakapapa or respect, humility, tauhiwa, and those values aren't directly found in the engineering industry. The engineering industry values things like time, money, and quality. They value getting the job done efficiently and effectively. Once I understood the values and the priorities of my environment, I was able to depersonalize my work and help my peers get the job done effectively. Over the course of my career, I've had many challenges and I've also had many achievements. One of the achievements that I've had is being awarded the Water New Zealand Young Professional Award in 2023, an award given to me by my peers in the Water New Zealand industry, recognizing my contribution to the water industry and also my support for the community and those around me. For those of you that come from underrepresented groups, remember, your perspective is valuable. It's just knowing how to bring that perspective to the workplace. Having a different perspective is actually encouraged in today's workplace, and it's having a different perspective helps to foster innovation and bring something new to the table. So embrace who you are and don't shy away from opportunities because of doubts. If you're interested in engineering or any profession, I highly suggest that you find someone in that field and asking them a bit about their industry. Don't underestimate the power of your community and your networks. I use my networks to find me a job, so if I can do it, then you can do it too. To summarize my video today, I'd like to leave 4 career tips. Number 1, build your network. People love to interact. Number 2, do some self-reflection around your personal values and the values of the environment around you. Number 3, depersonalize your work. And number 4, find you some mentors. I hope my story encourages you to pursue your passion or even break barriers along the way. I've only covered a brief overview of my career to date, but I will be covering more specific topics in my future videos. So let me know in the comment section below, is there any specific topics you'd like me to cover or any specific questions about my job, my industry? So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends who might find this useful. Thank you for joining me at Poly Pathways. Let me know if you've had similar experiences in your journey or you'd like to cover some other topics. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Until then, ofa atu.